Alright guys, so the video you're about to watch, I initially thought might be kind of a boring video, and maybe to some it wouldn't be, and maybe to some it will be. But I wanted to point out that after doing the video, I realized just how important this was, and I'm surprised it wasn't one of my first videos. It really gives you a great idea about what you're expecting when it comes to a tonal, and what you're going to get when on the very first day that you receive it. Honestly, this might be one of the most valuable videos I've ever made because it's going to introduce you to tonal. It's like, just imagine meeting somebody and not getting a handshake. It doesn't make sense unless it's COVID-19 time. But you know what I'm saying. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's very in-depth. If you need to skip through some parts because you don't feel like watching some of the setup, skip through it. Feel free. But keep in mind, I left as much as I could in there so that you guys have the best idea. The best idea. There's not going to be a lot of editing. There's not going to be a lot of cutting out. I'm keeping the camera rolling for a reason, because I want you guys to envision what you have to do when it comes to this. Okay, guys? Have a great day. I hope this helps. Hey, what's up, everybody? Back to this old familiar corner. Today, we're going to be looking at something that I got a request for. We're going to be focusing on the way Tonal has you set up your strength calibration. So, you guys may be aware, Tonal actually chooses the weight for you. Why is this so awesome? Well, Tonal can choose a weight that is going to be best for your muscles' growth and conditioning. And, you know, it's going to help determine that also based upon the type of goals you have, things like that. The algorithm is absolutely incredible, but basically, it's going to find the best weight for your muscle. Sometimes we might be confused, guys. I mean, there are people out there who are deterred from exercise because they just don't know which dumbbell to pick up. Should they be picking up the really heavy stuff? Should they be picking up the really light stuff? What kind of rep range do I have? Guys, Tonal is going to help you figure all that stuff out. It's going to help you figure that stuff out really easily. So today we're going to be going over what happens when you first get a Tonal, what you're presented with, and how Tonal is going to help you to be able to figure out what type of weight range you should be in, okay? It really is incredible. And in case you guys don't know, Tonal has 1 pound increments on its machine. Now, you might be thinking that that's great, and if you thought that, you'd be right. 1 pound increments, where you can change or lower or up the weight by 1 pound increments, that's going to allow you to get the perfect amount of weight, rather than, for example, if you're in the gym and you're using a standard machine or you're using standard dumbbells or something along those lines, where you have to maybe up your weight by 5 pounds, up your weight by 10 pounds, up your weight by 3 pounds, whatever the case is, that is not necessarily the best way to go about doing things. We had to, for all these years, we had to do it that way, but we don't have to do it anymore. Not with Tonal, not with technology like this, okay? So let's get into what we're going to be doing. I set up a test account so that my account doesn't get ruined by changing the algorithm, okay? And we're going to go into what you can expect. Here we go. So right now what I'm doing is I'm going to the test account and I'm going to go to recalibrate, okay? So I set up this test account. I want to find recalibrate. Let's see, where are you? Okay, recalibrate. Here we go. This is what you're going to see when you first start up Tonal.
Welcome to Tonal. I'm Coach Kelly, and the journey to be your strongest starts right now. In the past, you had to think about which weights to use for your workouts. But Tonal's Coach AI takes the guesswork out of strength training. Coach AI learns how strong you are and sets the weights for you. Not only that, it increases the weight as you get stronger and tracks your progress over time, so you get the best and most customized strength training experience. Today, Coach AI is going to assess your strength and set your suggested weights. Please review Tonal's safety documentation before you begin. You can find that in the guide that came with your trainer. Now, let's take 5 minutes and get your body primed and ready. Starting off the workout strong, we got to make sure that our bodies are nice and primed, ready to go. We need to start off with a little bit of a stability, so I want you to give me a nice knee hug. being as long at the top of your head as you can.
Okay, guys. So I'm going to interject right here. I'm going to lower the volume. Coach Kelly is awesome, and everything he's doing is telling you is necessary. He's getting you warmed up. But, guys, I'm already warmed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to skip this, okay? We're going to go here, skip the dynamic warm-up, and go to the first block.
These are the 4 moves that you'll be doing when Coach AI assesses your strength in just a few minutes. So it's really important to get the form and the tonal setup down. Our first move of the day is a seated lat pull down. Let's go through the setup together, so I want you to do this with me. If the arms are stowed like this, grab Tonal by the shoulders and rotate them out until they're facing you.
I'm just trying to get you the best setup.
Take one arm by the angle lever and bring it up 1 notch until the arm is locked into place. Now repeat that with the next arm. After you adjust the angles, make sure that both arms are securely locked into place. And then we'll have to adjust the rotation. Now to adjust the rotation, press and hold the button on each arm until you hear a click. Now rotate them both all the way towards the center, and then 2 clicks out. Now release the buttons to lock in place. Now let's get your smart handles set up. To attach your smart handles, align the T-lock and insert the key, and twist to lock in. We're going to do this with both arms. Finally, we have one last angle adjustment. So grab the angle lever, pull it all the way out, and then adjust your arm 1 notch above parallel, being sure that it's firmly locked into place.
Let me make sure you guys are getting a good view.
Now let me show you how to do this move. You can just watch me demonstrate first. Don't even worry about trying to keep up. First, we need to set the bench up. I want you to place it on the floor in front of your tonal and make sure that it's centered right on the screen. And by the way, here's something that's awesome. You can turn the weight on and off just by clicking the button on the end of your smart handle. Straddling the bench, I want you to reach up and grab each handle, and then sit just in front of where the handles are. With your arms extended overhead, click the button on when you're ready to start moving, and then pull back and down as if you're trying to pinch a pencil between your shoulder blades. As you release, let your arms slowly extend up overhead. When you're finished, click the button on the end of your handle and slowly release them back up to the start position. Now, Coach AI does not know how strong you are just yet, so we've set the weight at 7 pounds, and that's okay. The goal here is just to get a feel for these moves. Your target reps are displayed right there on screen, and Tonal keeps track of them for you, so you can focus on your workout.
Thank you.
You can go at your own pace because Tonal will not move on until you are ready. After your last rep, remember to turn the weight off by pressing the button on the smart hand. Let's get started. You have 8 reps with Coach Paul, so get into position with your arms up overhead. Turn the weight on when you're ready and follow along. Digitizing weight makes it easy for Tonal to count your reps. You'll see a rep counter on screen. During your last 3 reps, you'll hear beeps indicating that you're almost done with the set. When you're finished, remember to turn the weight off and release the handles.
All right, guys. So as you can see, this was the beginning setup to Tonal. Now, as he mentioned, as Coach Kelly mentioned, they don't know what my weight is yet, my weight suggestions. They're putting it on a comfortable 7 pounds just to get an idea of what that is. Now, what I'm going to do is, because I noticed while I was recording this, it's not giving you the best angle. I'm going to put you on the wide lens to try to get you a better idea of what's going on so you can really see me doing this. And we're going to get into that in a minute. Just bear with me. Let me get that wide lens going. All right, guys. So we're back with the wide lens. I'm actually going to pick you up a little bit also, because I think this is going to give you the best idea of what I'm doing. There you go. You can see the screen. You can see me. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to follow the direction that he's given me on the screen. Remember, it's a lightweight. They have spotter mode on. Everything is, this is the default, okay? This is the default. Let's take a look at what we're doing. Super lightweight. It's just to get an idea of where your strength is at. You don't have to go crazy on this. You don't have to up the weight. I'm going to turn the weight on now with the handle.
Sit calm and pretend to pinch a pencil between your shoulder blades.
As you can see, this weight is
Think
super...
about squeezing your arms to your side instead of pulling down with your hand.
This weight is super light, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to stop. I could keep going all day, but that's because it's on 7 pounds. Okay.
The next movement we'll try on Tonal is a seated overhead press. Let's adjust the arms starting with the height. The height lever is located on each shoulder. Pull the lever out and drop the arms all the way down. Once all the way to the bottom, make sure that they're firmly locked into place, because if they're not, you'll notice that the weight control on screen blurs and you won't be able to move forward in your workout until they're locked in. Now let's adjust the angle of each arm down to the first lock position. Pull out on the angle lever and drop each arm all the way down to the floor, pulling up on it to make sure it's locked in. Now it's time for the movement demo. I'll show you how to do this one, and I want you to follow along. Face Tonal and take a seat on the bench, placing one leg on each side. Sitting tall, bend down and grab each handle, and then pin your arms to your side like you're holding some magazines to your ribcage. When you're ready, turn the weight on, and then on an exhale, press up overhead like you're trying to drive your fist into the ceiling. On an inhale, slowly release your arms back down to your ribcage. When you're finished pressing, turn the weight off by clicking the button, and then release each handle back down to the ground.
All right.
Right now you have 8 reps with Coach Nicolette. When you're ready, bring your arms up to your sides, click the weight on, and then start pressing up and overhead, driving your fist into the ceiling.
Here we go.
Try to keep your elbows from moving forward as you press overhead. Relaxing your shoulders away from your ears will help you press overhead correctly. When you're finished, nice job. Now let's move on. Next, we have a popular pushing movement called the bench press. Your Tonal is already set up. We just need to scoot your bench out away from the wall 1 to 2 feet. Once your bench is set up, I want you to bend down and grab each handle and take a seat on the bench. Once you have a handle in each hand, lay down onto the bench and maintain 3 points of contact: your head, your back, and your butt. Extend your arms towards the ceiling, and when you're ready to start pushing, turn the weight on. Slowly release your arms down to the sides of your body, pretending to hug the bench with your back. On an exhale, press your arms back towards the ceiling, rinse and repeat. When you're finished with the movement, turn the weight off and release each handle slowly back down to the ground. Now you have 8 reps with Coach Paul. Remember to maintain 3 points of contact: your head, your back, and your butt. Once you're ready, grab those handles, lay on down, and bring your arms up out in front of your chest. Turn the weight on. You've got 8 reps. Excellent. Now for the final movement, the neutral grip deadlift. Let's start off by getting the bench out of the way and getting your feet into the correct position. Like I said, first things first. Always starting with the feet with a deadlift. Line your laces up with the end of the arm of Tonal, hip width apart. And while you're doing the movement, we're going to be thinking about lifting really heavy bags of groceries up off of the ground with a proud chest. Bend down and grab each handle. Flatten out your back, and when you're ready to start, turn the weight on, and then push the ground away from you as you stand tall. To return back to the start position, send your hips to the wall behind you, and then slowly lower those bags of groceries back down to the ground. Rinse and repeat. When you're finished, just turn the weight off and release those handles back down to the ground. Now you've got 8 reps with Coach Nico left. So get set up, grab your handles near your feet, and press the weight on when you're ready to start. As you're lifting those bags of groceries up off of the ground, exhale and stand proud. We're looking to turn on the hamstrings and then the glutes with this movement. Your hips should be above your knees, and you should have a slight stretch in your hamstrings. Once ready, press the ground away from you and touch your head to the ceiling. After your last rep, turn the weight off and release the handles. Great job. Those are the moves you'll be using for your Coach AI strength assessment. Are you ready to get started with your assessment now? Okay, let's calibrate your suggested weights so Tonal can customize your strength training journey. First, we need to set up for your next round of seated lat pull downs. So grab your bench, center it on Tonal, and then slide the arms all the way to the top, angling each arm 1 notch above parallel.
Sorry about all the moving. Just want to make sure you guys are getting a good view.
Slide those arms all the way up. Make sure they're locked firmly into place. Now for the angles. 1 notch above parallel, locked into place. Ready to go. And now for your bench. Nice and centered. Now we're ready to go. For this next set, Tonal uses a special mode for calculating your strength, and it's going to feel quite a bit different than the practice rounds that we just did. I need you to pull fast and strong with each rep, because each rep feels heavier and requires you to pull with more effort and speed than the last. The harder you pull, the more Tonal will resist your pulling. Let me show you what I mean. Once I'm into place, I can turn my weight on, and now only 3 reps are required. 1, next rep a little harder. Last rep, this is going to be difficult. When you're finished, you can turn the weight off and release the handles back to the top position. Make sure your weight is turned off before you start pulling. And remember, for all 3 reps, pull fast and strong. When you're ready, grab your handles, take a seat, turn the weight on, and start to pull.
All right. Here we go.
When you're done with these reps, turn the weight off and release the handles.
As he mentioned, it gets harder within those 3.
Weight recommendation for the seated lat pull down is showing in the weight control. Coach AI uses this information to help calculate your weights for all exercises on Tonal. That's pretty cool, right? Up next, we have our seated overhead press. You'll have to set your Tonal up now by sliding the arms down to the bottom.
I tried to show you, it calibrated me for 34 pounds.
Let me show you. Pull out on the height lever, drop those arms all the way down. Make sure they're locked into place. And then adjust the angle all the way down to the ground. Making sure, again, it's locked into place. You have 3 reps for your seated.
All right, guys, so I just want to interject real quick and let you know, if for some reason the weight suggestions are not properly calibrated, you can, number 1, recalibrate. Use recalibrate. Or you can just change the weight to what you want, and Tonal at the end of the day is going to learn what your weight is anyway. This is just the beginning stages of Tonal learning you. But as you move on, as you progress with the exercises, as you do what you need to do, Tonal is going to naturally learn who you are, what kind of weight you need. It's going to give you what you need, all right? So don't worry too much. Like, I probably could have went harder on the lat pull downs earlier, just because I didn't remember what to expect from when I first started this. But if you're starting this for the first time, you don't know what to expect either. So don't worry. Tonal is going to learn you regardless, okay? So here we go. We'll get back to this. Drop this down. Okay.
Remember to press those handles up fast and strong. And there you go. Your recommended weight for 10 reps of your seated overhead press is in your weight control. Now, the more Coach AI learns about you, the more customized your workouts will be. Next up, you have another 3 reps of your bench press, so make sure that your bench is set up. And remember, 3 points of contact: your head, your back, and your butt. Once you're lying down, grab those handles, arms extended to start, turn the weight on, and start pushing fast and strong.
All right, guys. So keep in mind what he said. It was similar to what I was just saying. As you go on, Tonal's AI is going to learn you, okay? So it's going to perfect these base measurements, these base weights that's giving you. It's going to perfect it within the upcoming workouts that you have. And it's going to recalibrate every single time it sees a difference, okay? Another thing I want to mention is the fact that he mentioned that the weight has been calibrated for 10 reps, okay? Why is that important? When you choose what rep range you want to do on free mode when it comes to this machine, or if you're doing a program, the weight is going to be spaced out or shortened depending on how many reps you desire. So for example, if you have a 10 rep range that you want to hit, your weight is going to be heavier than if you put that you want to hit a 15 rep range, okay? So a lot of the programs, they're telling you what rep range to go in. I personally, if you guys watch my videos, you know I like to hit a 12 rep range on every exercise for the most part, except for when I'm doing some back. Then I make the rep range higher because I want my weight to be lower because my back is very delicate, all right? So let's get back onto this. I just wanted to mention that. Never forget to start the weight when you're up, because you can blow your shoulders out.
When you finish your 3 reps, turn the weight off and gently release the handles. And then you're all done. Your recommended weight for 10 reps on your bench press, just like before, is showing right there in the weight control. Finally, you have 3 reps of your deadlift. Before you get started, you need to move your bench out of the way and make sure that you turn the weight on in the bottom position before you stand up. Turn the weight on and get started. Standing with your feet under your hips and your laces centered on the wrist of Tonal, bend over to grab the handles like you're getting ready to pick up 2 bags of groceries. With a proud chest, pick the groceries up off of the ground by exhaling and pressing your feet into the floor. Slowly lowering the handles back to the start position by pressing your hips to the wall behind you and sending through the movement so you can reset for the next rep. Your recommended weight for 10 reps of the deadlift is showing right there in the weight control. And starting right now, your weights will be set for every workout. And the best part is, Coach AI adapts with you as you get stronger. Your weights will increase the more you lift, and Coach AI will track your progress as you go, so you can always see how strong you're becoming. And that's your assessment. The next thing you want to do is start a program. The one that Tonal recommends for you is at the top of your home screen. At Tonal, we believe that strength is physical, mental, and emotional. As you train, you become the strongest version of yourself in every way possible. And everything you need to do is right here on your wall. Get ready to be your strongest. I'm Coach Kelly, and on behalf of all of the Tonal coaches, we can't wait to see you soon.
All right, guys. So as you can see, it asks you, how did you enjoy your workout? I'm just going to give it 5 stars because it deserves that. It asks you specifics as to what you enjoyed. Instruction, weight suggestions, pacing, movements, intensity. And if you choose to put other, it's going to ask you to write what it was. So we're not going to do that because they don't have swipe texting on this, and that'll take all day. Which is something I think they do need to implement. Now I want to show you something. Congrats. You have set your starting weights. Your strength score is 455. Your lower body is 499. Your core is 462. Your upper body is 404. Now, something I want to show you guys, something that I want you guys to know is that if you go into my actual, if you were to go into my actual program, my file on Tonal, my workout, you're going to see that my strength score is actually above that. So is this initial reading perfectly accurate? No. And just like your body changes every single day, your strength is up a little more on one day, sometimes it's lower, your strength score and all that stuff, it's constantly changing. Okay? So this is going to give Tonal a good weight, a good idea of where you should be. A good idea. But it's not going to be perfect. But it doesn't have to be because Tonal learns you very quickly. And I mean, it's got modes like Smart Flex where it's constantly reading your muscles. Should I lower the weight? Should I raise the weight? Tonal does it for you guys. You don't have to think anymore. This thing is now your trainer. So if you went to the gym and you were like, hey trainer, what weight should I be using if I want to get the most out of my reps? Well, Tonal just did that for you, and honestly, it did it better than any live trainer could do. Because live trainers are confined to dealing with certain set weights. Tonal is not. Tonal has 1 pound increments. So you can't get much better than this. So now what I'm going to do is, we're going to come back here. We're going to click Done. I just want to show you what the main page looks like, okay? This is my test account, TA 12 workouts. Strength score 455. Total volume is 15,462. Tonal calculates the volume that you've lifted. In all honesty, I don't know how much that really helps, but I think it's a pretty cool thing to have, and if you do delve into it, you'll be able to benefit from it. You will. You will. But at the end of the day, I don't pay too much attention to it. Now remember, he said they're going to recommend a program to you. Recommended for your recommended for you based on your profile, okay? Coach Paul Fit for Summer. They're saying that this is a beginner level. Guys, I've already done advanced programs. So, like I said, it's not going to be perfect with the calibration, but it's going to give a good idea as to what you need to do. Also, I do believe that my weight is off just a little bit. My height is off just a little bit. And my gender is definitely off because I didn't fine-tune those before I started this. It's not going to have too much of an impact on the weight, but it might have some. So keep that in mind. This is giving me the best idea of what is good for me. So there you have it, guys. That's the beginning. When you first get your Tonal and you first put it up on the wall, this is what you get to do. And I know you're going to want to blow past this and you're going to want to just get into your programs, but guys, enjoy it. Take it slow. Just like a lot of people will look at a 1 pound increment change on their lift as being negligible, something that's not important. You might look at this part as not important, but guys, enjoy it. With every 1 pound increment you go up, you are building your muscle better and stronger than if you were to jump it by 5 pounds. Same situation with this. When you take the time to go through this and get calibrated, this machine is going to learn you faster. It's going to help you better in the long run, okay? Think about the long run. Don't just jump to, hey, I want to lift 50 pounds or I want to lift 100 pounds. Think about the short term, okay? Short term goals, the small steps that you take are what will give you a good long run haul, okay? I hope that makes sense. I hope that you guys benefited from this, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Be safe and enjoy this thing. Enjoy it, guys. If you don't own one yet, I highly recommend you checking out these videos. It's going to give you a great idea on what to expect. It is the best investment I've ever made in my life, guys. It's truly, quite literally changed my life. I've lost about 50 pounds, and I've gained so much mass that I can't even, I mean, just look at the videos. Just look at the videos, guys. The videos say it all. I don't have to say another word. All right, guys, be safe. Talk to you soon, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.